Welcome to Technocracy News with your host, Patrick Wood. I am your co-host, Logan House. Today we have Technocrats come for food to destroy farms and ranches. Elon Musk gambles on sexy AI companions on XAI. The state just robbed an entire crypto exchange in broad daylight. And lastly, we will have Harvard AI-generated work slop masquerades as good work, ruins productivity. Patrick, how are you doing?
Here we are. It's really good, actually. It's a beautiful day in Arizona. The weather's cooling off a little bit. I like it.
Good.
This is what we live here for.
Yeah. It's a little cooler here today too. I've been waiting for the fall, and today's a little bit cooler. So, all right. Well, we have Technocrats come for food to destroy farms and ranches.
Exactly. And I want to make 2 points on that. We have several points on this, but first I want to read my comments at the top of this article because it just occurred to me that technocrats are turning the book of Genesis on its head. Just think about it for a minute. God gave us food to grow and eat freely, right? Technocrats are destroying food. God gave us work to do. Technocrats are destroying work with AI. God gave women to give birth. Technocrats are killing fertility and giving us artificial wombs and robots. God gave us land to work. Technocrats are taking our land away from us. What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
At every turn, the devil is in the details, and technocrats are his minions. That's the only conclusion you can make as a Christian. In short, technocracy is an anti-human doomsday machine. I just, I have to put this out, people. People will take exception with me on this, but we have to say it out loud at this point. It's stunning. But when you consider why is Genesis so important in the church today, this is why. Because everything in Genesis is being turned into, well, just the opposite. You have the tree of knowledge. Remember the good old tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden that got Adam and Eve in trouble in the first place? Well, the tree of knowledge is being recreated even as we speak with AI. Think of all the data centers around the country that are just churning. And so many of these AI companies, just think about this a minute. The AI companies now have transitioned into energy companies. Not AI necessarily now. Uh-huh. Now it's all about energy. And what a different twist at this point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about food in any case, because this is the subject of this article. Leo Hohmann wrote this article in the first place. But the attack on food is just epic all over the world at this point. That's the whole point of the article, basically. We won't read it, but people should go and read this article.
And this goes into all different types of attacks coming down, including fake meat being made and people suggesting that red meat's bad for us and to limit it. And they're really attacking it on all different sides. Bill Gates is coming out with all these different fake meats.
Yes. And by the way, the reason that the cattle herd in America is at least at 50-year lows. This was not an accident. This wasn't just mad cow disease or something. No, this was an intentional attack on ranchers in particular to decrease the size of the herd so that we can't have beef at a reasonable price to eat. How many times have you seen in the grocery store, even in the last 6 months, every time you go, there's another nickel, another dime, or 25 cents added to the price of a pound for meat. And it's not going to go away. At this point, the die has been cast, and there's no way that we can reverse it at this point. This is an all out attack on meat production and agriculture in general.
Yeah, and you even have Bill Gates making fake butter now with no animals, no oils. They're making butter with carbon.
Yes. And of course, they want to get carbon off the planet because they say, "Oh, we have to somehow get all the carbon out of the atmosphere, and it's bad, evil carbon." How stupid!
Yeah,
do
we're
these
going to make
people
butter with
think
it.
we are?
Yeah.
We need CO2 for green plants to grow. And if you take it out of the atmosphere, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Well, this is not accidental for sure. This is the devil at work. Only the devil could come out with something like this to convince people to take CO2 out of the atmosphere and out of our system. That's crazy. That's what God gave us, this system in the first place. The system of photosynthesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
It depends on carbon dioxide.
And they're still pushing the fact that cows are bad for the environment too, right? Farting cows.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they flatulate, and they produce methane. Absolutely ridiculous. But like I said, this is an all-out attack from every side. You can every side, whether it's telling ranchers what kind of grass to plant for the cows to eat, to milk production facilities, all the requirements now for things like putting poop bags on cattle. It's crazy.
And not to mention all the vaccines that we're pumping the cows with. And
Exactly. And unfortunately, now we're in view like resources on a par with cattle at this point as well. So putting the needle into us is just as easy as to put the needle into a cow. But this article is about food, nevertheless, that we focus on that here. The food that God gave us to eat in the first place is under attack, folks. That's what we need to see here. It's under attack on every level. So what can we do about it? Well, the first thing is to recognize the source of the problem. All these people that are doing this around the world, I'm sure most of them don't have a clue what they're doing. They've been deceived completely to do what they do. The policies they write, the people at the United Nations. I doubt if they're all Satanists, for instance, but the devil has tricked them into pursuing these policies that are trying to destroy the human race. No food, no humans. Just as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they want to control the food supply as well. They want to control how much you get when you go to the grocery store.
Exactly. And of course, Klaus Schwab put out the idea, eat the bugs. Insect protein is all over the market now. You check the next dry shake you get in the store, the type you put in water and shake it up and that sort of thing. Check those types of foodstuffs for insect protein. It's being added now, and it's very fine print. You'll see it. The first time you see it, you're going to barf probably, and then put that thing back in the shelf or take it to the manager. What are you doing to us? We don't eat bugs here.
So they're basically trying to hide it right now in all these different powders and stuff that you can get.
Yes.
They're trying to sneak it in.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, you sent me this website, climatetrace.org.
Yes.
And it has an interactive map where you can see sources of pollution, right?
Yes. Thank you, Al Gore. This is his creation. Al Gore has created this company called Climate Trace, and he's using satellite imagery and every other sensor that you can imagine on planet Earth to put pins on the map and measure the pollution that's coming out from those sources, right? And you say, well, that's just incidental or whatever. Look at the whole map. It's crazy. And they're going to use this to monitor and punish people who are polluters. And look, here's the map of the United States. Just look at it. Absolutely incredible. So there's going to come a time in the future where
where are the cows?
we're the cows at that point. I know. Yeah, but this is deadly serious. We thought that President Trump kind of has been haggling with the United Nations over climate change and stuff. This isn't going away. I don't care what anybody says. This is set in stone at this point. These people are coming for any polluter, especially with carbon dioxide. And the idea is, in the end, to punish people who are over polluting in their mind.
So how does this work? Are they doing an estimate based off of the output these different places are putting off? Or are they actually able to read the air?
Yeah, well, two ways. They have sensors on the ground, for one thing, that can monitor air pollution, especially around factories, stuff like that. And then you have satellite photos as well, using sophisticated imagery like infrared and other types of cameras to pinpoint the sources of pollution on the planet.
Wow.
Well, look at the whole map here. It's incredible. Yeah. Incredible. This is Al Gore on steroids. This guy needs to be locked away. He really does. But, look at that one.
That one dot in the middle of the ocean.
That's Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's Hawaii. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They have an active volcano right now, I think. Shame on those Hawaiians just polluting our atmosphere over there. I can't stand it. Oh, they have cattle there too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm waiting to see a cow on here. I click on one of the dots and a cow's pinned and showing the pollution coming off of them. We got to go to break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello, I'm Brandon House. Melissa and I have been taking Bella Grace, this powerful elixir, since last fall, 2023. The results have been amazing. My hands would crack and bleed, deep cuts and cracks every winter for years. No matter what we did, we couldn't get them to stop cracking and bleeding. This year, I took Bella Grace, no cracking, no bleeding. My acid reflux, gone. Haven't had to take a Pepsid. My hair growth, the last 2 times I had my hair cut, the lady had to use thinning shears on my hair. That's amazing. We've also received incredible feedback from you, our listening audience, and the impact it's had for you. This is loaded with astaxanthin. That's a powerful antioxidant. collagen, but top grade collagen. Studies show 95% of it is being absorbed in the body because of the way they develop it. Then we have something called cat's claw. That's an anti-inflammatory from a vine in Peru. It's the bark, and it's an anti-inflammatory. There are about 80 clinical trials on Bella Grace. Please get a subscription now and save. MelissaHouseBG.com.
Welcome back from the break. This next story is, it almost makes you want to laugh at first, but it's serious. Elon Musk gambles on sexy AI companions on XAI.
What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
Well, Elon Musk finds that X is kind of falling behind, especially behind OpenAI with Sam Altman at the head. And no other company at this point is pursuing these types of acts, these types of bots. But Elon Musk is. And so you can go freely now to, have to say you're 18 years old or older. You can get hooked up with a sexy AI companion on XAI now.
Wow. And there's different companion apps already, but this is going pretty graphic, right?
Well, it's not that it's going graphic, but just the fact that this is being institutionalized by a major platform like XAI.
Yeah. Because in the past, it's kind of been smaller tools and stuff that people create, right?
Yes, exactly. And you can get those apps on the App Store, for instance, on your phone and whatever tablet. But now this is mainstream because if XAI has it worldwide, how many people are on X right now? I think somewhere well over 1 billion at this point. So there's a lot of people that are going to be exposed to this stuff. And you have, I was reminded about Musk in the first place. He was the guy that came out with dark Gothic MAGA during Trump's run up to the election. And then before that, he had 3 children. I can't even pronounce their names. With a pagan witch named Grimes, who also identifies as a technocrat, by the way. He says he's pro-human, but then he does anti-human stuff. You can't make this stuff up. Pushing addictive bots to hundreds of millions of people makes him basically the king of drug pushers.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
And you don't get much anti-human than this, because when people get hooked on AI companions, they're not out there trying to find an actual companion to start a family with.
I know. And young people, especially, who are entering into the social stage of their life after 18 years old, for instance, now they're entering adulthood, and they're forming relationships. They have their friends from high school, maybe college. They're getting, these type of friends last forever, basically. Mine did, for sure. I know everybody I went to college with and high school as well. These are the formation relationships that take you into your whole life. Mm-hmm. If you can't process those relationships, if you don't have them in the first place, if your relationships are a machine rather than a real human, you're lost for the rest of your life. I'm sorry. You will not function as a normal human being. Yeah. The way God intended you to function. You can't have a relationship with the machine, period, end of subject. Elon Musk knows this. All these people know this. But they insist on creating these types of bots that are going to destroy humanity. They did it with social media in the first place. Now they're doing it with AI. The same MO, and they can protest all they want.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's not even only offering, machine companions, but he's also trying to merge you with machine with his brain chips and different things like that. So
you bet. Yeah. This is how the loss of humanness is expressed. We talk about humanness. Well, what does it mean to be human? Well, you have a spirit, you have a soul, etc. You have senses, you touch, you have a free will. All of these things add up to being human. Anything that's human, apparently, people like Elon Musk and the arch technocrats in Silicon Valley, their intent is to remove humanness from humans.
mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? That sounds so crazy, just even to say it.
Yeah. Yep.
They're trying to suck the life
with the last
out
story
of
we
humans.
had with the trying to make us eat bugs and fake butter, fake meat.
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
All right. Well,
let's see if we can get another story in here.
Yep. We have the next story. The state just robbed an entire crypto exchange in broad daylight. How did this happen? This is in Canada, right?
It is. And Canada is just our neighbor to the north is all. We can look at them and say, well, it's probably going to come here too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point. But this is striking. This is as bad as the truckers who were debanked during the lockdowns in Canada. So the idea here, Canada got hacked off at this exchange because of privacy issues. They didn't like that the company refused to track the traffic, like who is sending money here and there. And they came in and just basically confiscated the whole thing. And all the people who were innocent bystanders at that point, just they have their crypto wallet, and they're buying and selling on the exchange. All of a sudden, boom, their money is just gone and has been confiscated by the state.
So if I understand that, so there's a exchange where people were buying crypto, and
Yes.
since the government didn't like that, the company, it would be almost like a broker, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't allowing them to see what they were doing with the tokens and how much they were buying, and then they just shut it down to all of Canadians, to where all the money they had in there was just gone. They weren't able to access it.
Exactly. They could have probably taken some other step, maybe to punish or fine the founders of that company. That would be wrong altogether, but nevertheless, they could have done something else other than just seizing all the money in the first place. And so the people who trusted that exchange, thinking there was nothing bad at all, otherwise they probably would have put their money in the first place. Bam, they just got blindsided. Their money was there one day. The next day they checked, it was all gone.
Wow.
This is incredible. This is the overreach of the state. And this is all based on privacy. They want everything visible on the table so that they can surveil everything that moves and everything it happens. And if you deny them that right,
And they'll just take it from you.
That's right. Here you go. Exactly. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
so I like this. I liken this to the picture of the Jesse James gang at the top here. This is an actual picture. I think that's old Jesse in his front there. People should remember who Jesse James is. He's one of the most notorious bank robbers in the 1800s, right? This a motley crew is for sure. but they did a lot of damage, and they didn't care who they robbed either. So this is kind of exactly what happened in Canada when the gang rode into town saying, "We're holding up your exchange. Give us all your money."
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what they did. I mean, it's the crypto exchange is almost like a digital bank, right? And they just came in and took everything. It's like if they were to come into a bank and take everyone who has an account there, their money, they just wiped it all clean.
Yes.
Because they didn't like what the bank was doing.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. You know, there was a day before. Yeah. Let's touch this last story here.
Okay. We just about a minute, but Harvard AI generated work slot masquerades as good work. So are the Harvard students relying on AI?
No, this is a study by Harvard based on businesses.
Okay.
The idea is employees were found to be generating low effort, passable looking work that simply increased the workload for other employees. So there's a false economy going on here. Employers are trying to force employees to use AI, but they're not using it incorrectly. So they're creating more work for other people up the line. And so, you know, they measured this across lots of, companies, and they find, well, all of a sudden AI really isn't doing exactly what they said it would do in the first place. So
yeah, and in the study, they found 40% of companies said they had received inferior quality work in the past month.
Exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're all out of time.
So there you go.
Yep, we're all out of time for tonight. We'll be back on Tuesday, new episode. Till then, take care.
Yeah. God bless.
We live in uncertain times. In fact, we live at a time when our own governments all over the world are warning us that there could be big problems with our power grid. World War III seems to be right on the horizon. Let me ask you this. Do you have a satellite phone? Should communications go down with cell towers? Do you have a satellite phone to get a hold of that college student or your spouse who travels, whatever it might be, to get a hold of your senior adult parents? We have satellite phones at worldviewtalk.com, and you get the satellite phone for free when you sign up for their very reasonable payment programs for the service.
Welcome to Worldview Tube's Washington Report. I'm joined by my co-host Jim Paff of theconservativecaucus.org. And Jim, it was a busy day at the White House today with Trump had a roundtable on Antifa with a bunch of independent journalists who have been down there live streaming and going into the danger to report on what's going on. And you have some friends that were there, don't you?
Yeah, Nick Sorter is really close to Myra and me. Yeah, it's really cool to see him there, and he did a great job. And, you know, man, he's had to go have a lot of courage. Of course, our National Field Director, Chad Caton, was there with him as well during recent days over the weekend and such, helping to protect him. He's a military guy who understands how to do that. Nick, you know, he had to watch out for Nick a little bit. Sometimes Nick just rushed into things, but it's exposed a whole lot of problem in this country, and just shows once again a situation where a city that won't do anything and police that won't do anything. Democrats are an un-American party that are creating more and more chaos in this country everywhere, not just Portland.
Yep. And I guess I'll start out with a clip from Nick. He is going off in the Trump cabinet meeting, or in front of the Trump cabinet, on Portland police. Listen to this.
Removing me for my own safety. It never crossed my mind that I was the one that was being arrested for a crime after I was just thrown into a hole. I heard from the Department of Homeland Security after I had gotten out of jail and one of your, I won't say exactly who it was, but somebody very close to Secretary Noem over here said that they were legitimately worried for my safety in the Portland jail. But luckily, the Portland jail was, I was the only one there, essentially, because they don't actually arrest people in Portland, besides conservative journalists, I guess. So, look, I'm glad that it was not a good night for me. Let's just say that. It was not fun sitting in that jail, but I'm glad to see what has come of it. And I've been able to talk to a bunch of FBI agents, ATF agents, DHS agents that I didn't even know existed until I went there and went to that ICE facility. And the morale is at an all-time high. It is so exciting to see these guys know now that they have the backing of the Secretary, the DOJ, as well as the President of the United States, and they are there to do their job. They are going to fulfill this mission and deport these violent criminals. I believe one of the ones that I did a ride along with Secretary Noem yesterday, President Trump, and there was a pedophile that had come into the country 5 times over the past 7 years. 7 years. And apparently under the Biden regime, that was just allowed to happen. That was fine. No problem. It's concerning to me that you're seeing the Portland Police Department, as well as the governor of Oregon and the mayor, of course, coming out and running defense for pedophiles that have entered the country illegally 5 times. It's crazy. I'm glad it's taking a front row seat in the media. And, they're being forced to talk about it in reality because, we're the ones that were on the ground. We're the ones that are actually reporting what's going on. Much